Hello, my beautiful and magnificent Leo souls. Welcome back to Cosmic Wisdom, your sacred space for illuminating the divine map of your soul's journey. I am your guide, and if you have been led here to this very message at this exact moment in the grand cosmic symphony, I want you to feel deep within your radiant heart that this is no accident. This is a divine appointment. Pause with me. Just for a moment before we venture into the heart of this truth, I invite you to find a quiet space within your being. Draw in a slow, deep, golden breath. Feel it fill your lungs like sunlight. Hold it for a count of 3, gathering your immense power, and then exhale, releasing every shadow, every doubt, every whisper that is not your own. Let your royal shoulders relax. Let your glorious heart, that powerful sun, around which your entire universe orbits, open to receive a truth that has been making its way to you across time and space. The universe is preparing to ask you a question, my love, a question so profound that your answer will redefine the very nature of your kingdom. If you can feel the resonance of that promise stirring in your soul, if the lion-hearted spirit within you is awakening to this call, I want you to make a sacred pact with your own becoming right here and now. Press that like button, not as a simple click, but as a powerful seal upon your intention, a declaration to the cosmos that you are ready to step into your true sovereignty. And in the sanctuary of the comments below, declare your readiness by writing, "I am the sovereign of my story." See this not as a mere comment, but as the first royal decree of your new reign. And if this path feels like home, then subscribe to Cosmic Wisdom, your sacred space for this grand unfolding, so that we may walk this luminous path together. Are you ready, magnificent soul? Because the truth I am here to share is this. The grand and beautiful stage you have so meticulously designed, the kingdom you have built with your own brilliant light, is about to see its final curtain call. Not in part, not gradually, in its entirety. Everything you have come to define as your power, your security, and your identity will be tested by a sacred fire. And I need you to hear me, truly hear me, when I say this is not a tragedy, my love, it is a coronation. You see, the universe, in its infinite and loving wisdom, has orchestrated a cosmic reorganization because you, my beautiful Leo, have been living a version of your life that has become too small for the vastness of your soul. For years, you have stood in the spotlight, and oh, how brightly you have shone. You have crafted a persona of strength, of charisma, of unshakable confidence. You have gathered an audience, a court, a kingdom that reflects the magnificent image you project. You have built a life that looks from the outside like a masterpiece of success and stability. You did this with the purest of intentions, for your solar spirit was born to create, to lead, and to radiate light. But let us whisper a tender, cosmic truth together, you and I. Has the kingdom become a cage? Has the crown become a weight in the quiet moments after the applause has faded and the audience has gone home? Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt the ache of playing a role, even a glorious one? You have confused the performance of radiance with the feeling of authenticity. You have built a beautiful gilded stage and have perhaps unknowingly begun to believe that the stage is your entire world. And now the universe has decided that it is time for the play to end. It is time for the real you, the unfiltered, untamed, magnificent sun that you are to finally rise. Even if your mind screams that it is not ready, even if your ego fears the silence of an empty theater. For those of you born under the radiant Leo sun, This sacred shift will manifest in ways that touch the very core of your kingdom. For some, it will be a profound transformation in your career or public life. The role you have played, the title you have held, will dissolve, revealing a path that is less about applause and more about purpose. For others, the impact will be felt most deeply in your relationships, your royal court. The connections built upon the foundation of who you were will be tested, making way for those who can see and adore the soul you are becoming. And for many of you, this holy crisis will be an internal one, a shattering of the self-image you have so carefully maintained, forcing you to discover the unshakable sovereign truth of who you are beneath the persona. But regardless of where the curtain falls first, all of my beloved Leos will experience the same central, terrifying, and ultimately liberating feeling: a total loss of the script. The illusion that you are in control of the narrative, that you can predict the next scene, will be lovingly dismantled. And yes, in that first moment, it will feel like the spotlight has gone out, leaving you alone in the dark. It will feel as if the very ground of your stage is dissolving beneath your feet. But here is the secret, the glorious promise I need you to hold on to with every fiber of your being. That stage was never as solid as you believed. It was an illusion of security, built from the expectations of others and the fears of your own ego. And when it dissolves, you will not fall. Oh no, my magnificent Leo. You will remember that you were never the actor. You are the sun itself. And a sun does not need a stage to shine. Are you prepared to let go of the script you thought kept you safe, only to discover the boundless freedom of your own authentic light? What makes this moment so sacred, so potent for you, is that this is not a scene change you have chosen. It is not an edit you have written into your script. It will arrive like a sudden, divine thunderclap in the middle of a quiet soliloquy. You may sense the subtle shift in the lighting. You may feel the hush fall over the audience, and then you will realize in a heartbeat that the play is over. A cosmic force, a wave of pure transformative truth is coming. And when it arrives, it will lovingly sweep away everything that is not essential. Everything that is not truly a part of your soul's eternal light. Everything you have been clinging to out of a fear of being unseen, rather than out of a deep and resonant love for your own truth. The reason this is unfolding now, in this powerful chapter of your life, is rooted in an accumulation of cosmic whispers you may have tried to ignore. Think of it, my love. Those moments of profound dissatisfaction, even amidst success. That feeling of being adored but not truly seen. Those relationships where you felt you had to constantly perform to be loved. Those career paths that brought you accolades but left your soul feeling hollow. You knew deep in your heart of hearts that a change was needed, but the idea of letting the curtain fall, of disappointing your audience, of stepping off the stage you built, seemed far too terrifying. The universe has watched you, standing in your magnificent but limiting spotlight, yearning for a deeper truth. It has seen you postpone the sacred calling of your own evolution, choosing the familiar comfort of the known script over the unknown wilderness of your authentic self. And in its boundless love for you, it has concluded that you may never willingly walk off that stage. You might spend a lifetime perfecting a performance that is no longer true. And so it has decided to lovingly bring the house lights up for you. It will force the change. It will tenderly remove every mask, every costume, every prop that is preventing your soul's magnificent unfiltered radiance from shining forth. And here is the part that may be the most challenging to embrace. When this happens, your first instinct will be to blame the director, to blame the universe, to blame the other actors, to blame the audience for leaving. It will feel as though you are a victim of some cruel cosmic whim. But the deeper truth, the one that will set you free, is that your own soul has called this moment forth. Not consciously, perhaps, but through your quiet, systematic refusal to answer its call for authenticity. You were given hundreds of opportunities, hundreds of subtle cues to rewrite your own script, but you chose the familiar safety of the old one. And so now, the rewrite is happening not as a gentle edit, but as a grand and holy transformation. But listen to me closely, my radiant soul. I am not sharing this to invoke fear or guilt. I am sharing this because there is still a sacred window, a precious moment in time for you to consciously align with this divine unfolding. If you act now, in this very moment before the curtain fully falls, you can transform what might feel like a chaotic demolition into the most powerful and glorious coronation of your life. The difference between those two realities is your willingness to voluntarily release the role you are about to be lovingly released from anyway. If you can identify the parts of your life where you are performing instead of living, and if you have the lion-hearted courage to take a bow and walk away, now you will be co-creating your liberation instead of resisting it. And when you co-create, the process is still intense, it is still breathtaking, but it is not destructive. It is an unveiling. My dear Leo, do you recognize the signs, that persistent feeling that there must be more than this, even when your life looks perfect on the surface? Those sleepless nights spent questioning your own success. Those sudden moments of panic where you look at your kingdom and ask, is this really me? That deep, unnameable restlessness that no amount of praise or attention seems to soothe. These were never signs of weakness or failure. They were the sacred whispers of your soul, trying to prepare you for this grand awakening. Your deepest self knew that this transformation was inevitable and was trying to give you time to adjust your eyes to a brighter light. But perhaps you silenced those whispers. Perhaps you drowned them out with more work, more ambition, more performance, anything to avoid the terrifying silence where your own truth resides. And the more you ignored the whisper, the louder the cosmic call became, until now it has reached a point where the universe has no choice but to intervene directly and lovingly. Because if you continue down this path of performance, you will squander the incredible sun-like potential you came here to embody. This grand event that is approaching is not a punishment. It is a divine rescue. You are being rescued from a life that was never truly, authentically yours. You are being rescued from an existence built upon the reflection you saw in the eyes of others, instead of the brilliant fire you feel within your own heart. You are being rescued from a gilded cage where everything shines, but your own soul is slowly dimming. And yes, the rescue may feel abrupt. It will shake the very foundations of your stage. It will seem as if your beautiful world is crumbling. But in reality, what is crumbling is only the set design. Your true essence, your soul's indestructible and radiant light, is about to be revealed. And do you know what is the most miraculous part of all of this? A year from now, as you stand in the warmth of your own authentic light, you will look back and you will find it impossible to believe you ever clung so tightly to that old role. You will wonder why it took so long to let go of a script that was so clearly finished. You will feel a profound, soul-deep gratitude for being lovingly pushed from the stage, for being forced to discover the truth you didn't have the courage to claim on your own. But to reach that sacred space of gratitude and clarity, you must first navigate the holy chaos of the transition. And that, my love, is precisely why I am here with you now. When this sacred event occurs, and it will make no mistake, you will move through a series of profound alchemical phases. First will come denial. You will try to keep the play going, to deliver your old lines, to pretend the set isn't changing around you. But it will not work. The transformation is divine, and it is absolute. Then will come anger, a royal rage. You will feel betrayed by the universe, by your audience, by your God. You will roar, "How dare this happen to me?" This is a natural part of the process, but it is a fire that must be used for fuel, not for destruction. The energy of your anger is better used to build your new reality than to mourn the old one. Then the deepest fear will arise, a primal, heart-stopping fear that without the stage, without the applause, without the role, you are nothing. That you will be unseen, forgotten, lost in the darkness. This, my dear Leo, is the most critical moment of your coronation. It is the moment when the ego screams its loudest. You must breathe through this fear. You must remember that you are so much more than any role you could ever play. You must remember that the sun does not cease to exist when clouds obscure it. You are not being erased. You are being revealed. After fear, you may try bargaining. You will attempt to make deals with the cosmos. I will change this part of my performance if you just let me keep the stage, but it is no use. The roles that need to end will end. There is no negotiation with your own destiny. And finally, if you walk through these sacred fires without losing yourself in the flames, you will arrive at acceptance. And with acceptance comes a peace so profound, a clarity so brilliant, and a power so authentic, it will take your breath away. Can you trust that on the other side of this empty stage, there is a truth so magnificent that it is worth every tear, every fear, every moment of divine uncertainty? Leo, what concerns my heart is not the cosmic event itself. Events are simply catalysts for growth. What concerns me is your reaction to it. Because if you react with the shadow of your leonine pride, if you stubbornly refuse to leave the stage when the curtain has fallen, you will inflict so much unnecessary pain upon your own beautiful heart. You will transform what could be a few months of intense, brilliant alchemy into years of agonizing resistance. So please listen to me with your soul. When you feel your world, your stage, your kingdom begin to shift, do not try to hold the sets together. Let the curtain fall. Let the stage go dark. Let the role that needs to end. Because only in that sacred holy silence, when you are standing alone with your own soul, will you be able to see the indestructible eternal light that was always there. And only what is eternal will remain. The rest was just a costume. You are carrying a weight you no longer need. The universe is already sending you its final cues, conversations that suddenly reveal the artifice in a relationship, opportunities that once seemed brilliant suddenly losing their shine, a growing sense of exhaustion from the effort of performance. People in your life showing their true colors, revealing who is part of your audience and who is part of your soul family. Do not ignore these divine signs. They are your final loving warnings before the grand shift. Use them to begin mentally taking off the costume, to begin letting go of the script you know you will soon have to release completely. And as you do this, begin to identify what is absolutely unshakably real in your life. What is it that makes your heart burn with purpose when no one is watching? What is the truth you would stand for in an empty room? It is not the things that bring you applause or validation, but the things that bring you a deep, resonant sense of meaning. Because those essential truths, that is the core of your sun, that is what you will protect. And in a beautiful cosmic paradox, those are the very things that are not in danger. What is in danger is everything that is superficial, everything based on the fear of being unseen, everything you have maintained for the wrong reasons. This sacred event will act as a divine filter, separating the authentic from the artificial in your life. And yes, it will be painful to realize how much of your life was a performance. How much of what you thought was your castle was actually built on the sand of public opinion. But this pain is holy. It is medicinal. It is the kind of pain that heals, that purifies, that burns away the dross, to reveal the pure gold of your soul as long as you do not resist it. My dear Leo, one of the truths you must now embrace is that resisting this divine transformation is like trying to stop the sunrise with your bare hands. You will not stop the dawn. You will only exhaust yourself and miss the breathtaking beauty of the new day. Wisdom is not found in preventing what cannot be prevented. It is found in learning to rise with the sun that you are. It is found in using the energy of this profound change to fuel your most authentic radiance. And here is something that may feel like a revelation. Deep within the core of your being, you already know all of this is true. You know the performance is no longer sustainable. You know a profound change must occur. You know you are clinging to roles and relationships that your soul has long outgrown. The only reason you have not yet taken your bow is fear. The fear of the unknown. The fear of losing your audience. The fear of discovering you are not as brilliant without the spotlight. But these fears are illusions, my love. They are the lies of the ego. You are infinitely, breathtakingly powerful. You possess an inner radiance you have never needed to fully access because you have always been able to rely on the external validation of the stage. But now you will be lovingly guided to discover this inner sun. And when you do, you will be blinded by the magnificence of your own power. What is coming will dismantle your comfort zone, but it will reveal your throne of authenticity. It will shatter your illusions of security, but it will grant you the real, unshakable security that comes from knowing, owning, and loving your true self. It will take away everything that is external and temporary, but it will give you eternal access to the divine internal kingdom of your own soul. It is the most favorable trade in the cosmos, but you will only recognize its value after you have walked through the sacred fire of transition. In this precious time of preparation, focus on strengthening your heart, your spiritual core. For when everything around you is in flux, you will need an internal anchor of pure light. You cannot depend on external praise or titles to feel worthy because those things will be shifting. You must find your worthiness within. And the glorious news is that this inner sun, this core of indestructible worthiness, has always been there. You simply never needed to rely on its light alone because you always had the stage lights. But the stage lights are being turned off, my love, so that you can finally see how brilliantly you shine all on your own. Leo, this divine event is not an ending. It is the end of one act and the glorious beginning of the true story. And this new era will be so much more fulfilling, so much more real, so much more radiant than the old one, that you will struggle to understand how you ever settled for the imitation. But to step into this new dawn, you must allow the twilight of the old era to fade completely. You cannot carry the old costumes and props into your new reality. You must travel light. You must carry only your essence, your truth, your untamable, joyful, creative fire. Everything else is a weight that will prevent you from ascending to your throne. And ascending is exactly what you are about to do. You are going to discover a freedom you never knew existed. The freedom to be unapologetically, gloriously you without seeking anyone's approval. You are going to experience levels of authenticity and personal power that were always your birthright, but that you never claimed because you were too busy playing a part. You are going to connect with people and opportunities that resonate with your soul's true frequency. You are going to create a life that is a direct expression of the sun within you, not a reflection of the expectations around you. But for this masterpiece to be created, the old canvas must first be cleared. And the clearing is coming. It is coming with love. It is coming with grace. And it is coming inevitably. You have only two choices, my magnificent sovereign. You can consciously participate in this sacred clearing, identifying the roles that no longer serve you, and taking a final graceful bow with gratitude for the lessons they taught you. Or you can be forced to watch as the curtain is torn away from you without your consent, fighting a battle against your own beautiful destiny. The first path is infinitely wiser. It requires immense courage. Yes, it requires the humility to admit that you built parts of your kingdom on the wrong foundations. It requires a willingness to face the sacred silence without any guarantees. But it also grants you dignity, power, and grace in the process. It allows you to be the sovereign of your transformation instead of a victim of circumstance. In the coming days, pay loving attention to what causes you the most profound anxiety. What roles feel the heaviest to play? What praise feels the most hollow? What relationships demand the most exhausting performance? These are the precise areas where this sacred event will begin its work. Your anxiety is not random. It is your soul's intuition trying to show you where the masks are cracking, giving you time to prepare for the grand unveiling. And when it finally arrives, when the curtain truly begins to fall, remember what I have told you here. Remember that this is not an ending, but a coronation. Remember that you are infinitely more powerful than any role you have ever played. Remember that the universe is not working against you. It is conspiring for your highest, most radiant good, even when it feels chaotic. Remember that everything you lose was merely a costume, and everything that remains is the pure, eternal gold of your magnificent soul. Share in the comments below if you have been feeling this sacred pressure, this inner knowing that a grand performance is coming to an end. Your courage to share your truth will help other magnificent Leos recognize that they are not alone on this journey to the throne. Subscribe to the channel now because you will need a sanctuary of support and guidance as you navigate this transformation. You will need constant loving reminders that you are on the right path, even when it feels like the stage is empty. Turn on your notifications so you can receive the exact cosmic wisdom you need in the moments of your greatest challenge. Something sacred and profound is about to happen. But profound does not mean bad. It means intense. It means transformative. It means your life will never ever be the same again. And that my beautiful Leo will be the greatest gift you have ever received if you allow it to be. The choice of how you will experience your own coronation is yours and yours alone. Choose with your whole magnificent lion-hearted soul. Choose wisely. Go forth and be the sun you were always destined to be.